This segment is the last track on the album. This is basically I would like to thank everyone who helped me get this far in life. This album, On the Lamb, actually deals with a lot. Actually, it may be a short album and all that, but I just want to take this time to let you know that a lot of this stuff had come from the heart, and making horrorcore music and terror riff genre, that's so easy to do. And I was actually put to the test when I was told maybe I should write something that actually can touch a heart, and that's what I was aiming to do this whole time. So I had to think back a little to when I heard from someone, my uncle actually. He was telling me that Cyndi Lauper, which is an amazing woman, if I may add, he said that, she said, if you hate the hater, you're just as bad as they are. So I'm pretty sure that basically covers it up, when I say kill the killer, hate the hater, or bring forth the ravaging, really, when bad karma comes around the corner, it hits you pretty hard, especially if you're doing something wrong or judging somebody. And there's another point on this album that deals with teen suicide and why, young people try to do it. And I bet you're probably wondering how I relate to it. I would say I got some skeletons in my closet too. So, yeah, to the young people, they're the light of this nation. I'm almost 20 years old. It's going to be my birthday soon, and I'm surprised I made it this far as it is. And just to let you all know that, life, it could either get worse and worse and worse. I may not be a big religious person, but as far as I know, people aren't really supposed to judge you. They do, however, it's up to you whether or not you're going to look the other way, because if somebody's talking bad about you, you're doing something right. But if everybody loves you and adores you, you're doing something wrong. So don't take your own life and don't take no one else's. Be yourself. Whatever makes you happy in your life, whatever you feel is, necessary, whatever makes you feel loved, do it. As long as it's legal. Basically, why I added an old track, an old favorite of mine, Happy Place, to the album is that, it is uplifting. It is like, being able just to go back in your mind a little and go to a place where you don't have to worry about nothing just for that short time. And that, that short time, you can use that to prepare yourself for whatever's coming next. Yes, and I did put a song to my mother and father. Yeah, it was really that rough. I mean, when I first wrote that song, it was actually called What More and not Black Sheep. When I first titled it, there was a lot of vulgar language, there was a lot of threats, and, just to take something that I put all my anger to and turn it into something loving and kind of uplifting in its own way, to the point where, what, you guys didn't need me for any reason whatsoever, so I don't need you. That's basically the message in that song. And basically, I feel that life was worthless when my mother was a single parent at the time and done some questionable things, and the abuse, the sexual abuse, everything that had happened to me when I was a child. It's really difficult to talk about that. And it's actually really, really hard to express how that makes one person feel. I do believe in second chances. I do forgive what, that man done to me. I do forgive him. And it's time to move on. I'm an adult now and things are changing. And life changes before your very eyes. I believe Hillary Duff actually put that the best. So, life is a metamorphosis. You start, you learn things as a baby. You get older and older and older. You could either be a big, beautiful butterfly mentally, or mentally you could be a nasty moth or something, And, I honestly understand what it feels like to be hurt. I had a very raw deal as a child. When you look at me today and you look at how I act and how, I think, you probably would have never thought that, the bomb-strapped child, was me. You know what I mean? And I would like to also thank, the Juggalo family, for, backing this up. I only have a few of you guys, so, there's a lot of fake posers out there. And, a lot of this has to do with Carnival Jam because, there's really no hate. You know what I mean? When you're at the carnival up in the sky, our belief, our view, and, it's just nothing but love. And I can write like 1,000 songs about hatred and, you know, just things that make me angry, but to narrow my love and my happiness down to 8 tracks total, people would probably think, maybe he just isn't happy as a person. Technically I am because the things I write before are for entertainment purposes as for my genre. But, you know, uh, I feel like, this is something that needed to be done. I was put to the test with this, and I feel as if, if I show people that I do have good decency, I do have love, I do have character, I do have what some people call spunk, but, it may be narrowed down to a few short tracks, but I wanted something that can touch your heart, not just make you smile. And that's really hard to do, but in all honesty, I felt great after recording these tracks. And, once again, to the young people, you guys got to keep your heads up. And yes, there's, a lot of options you could take in your life, such as, joining a gang or, just being a criminal or drug user or something of that nature. I've been through a lot. Some things other kids been through would make me fall to my knees and beg for mercy. But if you ain't one of them kids out there in the foreign countries or something, and you got something that they would give their own life for, then lift your head up because you do have a chance. You do have an option. You do have an opportunity to let yourself shine. There's kids out there who have so much talent, so much power within themselves that they can use that for the good. And you know a lot of people ask me, why did I choose to make music at all? I was like, well, for one, I was rapping ever since I was a little kid. I didn't really live in the ghetto, but I guess if you borrow soap from your neighbors, so I guess it is ghetto. But no, I mean, all my friends and I would hang out, and I was about 5 or 6 when I spit my first bar. And when I was a kid, I was always rapping about, simple things like my mother would drive down the street in the Buick and all that, and I would point at things and rap about it and make a little rhyme, and that's what basically started it from there, and I've been doing it ever since. It's been a very long time that I've been, at this music thing, and, to throw rock and other culturistic sounds and everything else kind of puts a tie to my genre. But not only that, I kind of want to make songs that can relate to others as they feel. Like, ICP, the Insane Clown Posse of Psychopathic Records, had mentioned something that actually spoke out to a lot of people that other people would just look at it differently because they're closed-minded. But, you know, if you go out and you kill somebody over a song you heard, then it's not their fault. And you know why it's not their fault. Like, if a kid listens to my music, he's 12 years old, and his mom didn't tell him, or his dad didn't tell him, or whoever he's with, or didn't tell him, don't listen to that. That kid, it says a lot of ignorant things. Well, this is an album that's viewable by a family, so, I don't really like the judgmental stereotypes and conflict, but, I will say this. If the CD says parental advisory, do your job as a parent, because that's the first word on that sticker. If it's explicit, that means no, don't let your kid listen to that. Don't let your kid do it. But this album here is for everyone's ears. I tried to, narrow down the language. I don't even have to put a PA sticker on it at all whatsoever. But lastly, I would like to thank and give shouts out to, once again, my Uncle Joey, my Uncle Jay Mills, my brother, and my partner in crime, I would say, is Oris Brooks, aka Jokey Boy. To the rest of my friends, my Juggalo family, not friends, Juggalo family. Y'all keep your heads up. There could be much worse things happening in this day and time as we speak. So I love y'all, and I gotta go take a shower. I'm freaking filthy. Peace.